All right. Little different location, little different setup, but we're trying to live stream because we got weather to talk about. Hope you all are doing well. Meteorologist Shane Smith here on Facebook and YouTube. Let me know if this is working. I'm in a completely different from normal location. Actually, my family's business office. On a different computer than that. So we're flying by the seat of our pants trying to make things work. If you are watching, please let me know. I'm going to share this out. Hey, I see myself on Facebook. That's a good sign. Get that shared out. I'm going to get YouTube shared out. I can't believe this is working. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what questions you have. About tonight's storms. We're going to probably talk about 15-20 minutes, and then I'm going to have to cut it short. Alright, let me get this shared on the old Twitter machine. I'm going to get started. Share this out if you're watching later. We're recording this or going live at least on Monday evening. It's been a hard couple of days. We've had this horrific severe weather up in Laurel County. I'm down in Corbin right now. Streaming this, but London got rocked. Y'all don't need me to tell you that. You've seen probably some of my posts, some of the posts folks have been sharing. Words don't do it justice for us. It is bad. Unfortunately, we've got more severe weather potential heading our way for Tuesday. So I wanted to give folks a heads up on what to expect and answer as many questions as I can. This is not going to be as fancy or as pretty as my normal setup. If you're just joining us, down at my family's office, so we will just handle this the best we can. We've got another line of showers and storms moving our way tomorrow. Another strong area of low pressure. I'm sure you guys that have been trying to keep up with the weather out to our west knows another massive severe weather outbreak has been going on the last 2 days in the plains. And unfortunately, it is moving towards the bluegrass tomorrow, which is the last thing we need here in London. It is absolutely no good at all. So let's map out the timing. Here is the HRRR model for tomorrow. I'm going to step this into the future, and you're going to notice there is a small chance of thunderstorms tomorrow morning. I'm going to say between 8 a.m. and noon. This first round likely won't be as strong. But remember how on Friday we had some strong storms in the morning, caused a little damage, and then the main event rolled in that evening? Similar kind of setup, not identical. There are some key differences, but it kind of the same idea. Potential for some morning strong thunderstorms, and then the main event will move in afternoon and evening. And I think it is going to be a little bit earlier in the day than what we saw on Friday, which is some good news. I think part of the problem on Friday was just where it hit so late in the evening. I think that led to a lot of the problems we saw. But I suspect the main event will likely roll in around 3 or 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. This is showing 3 o'clock Eastern time, thunderstorms on top of Somerset. Somerset, you do not need that. You do not want that. I know folks in Pulaski County are hurting too. As far as the severe weather threats, not looking quite as tornadic. A lot of the ingredients aren't there that we had on Friday. But there is a small chance. There is a lot of shear. That is the one thing that has me concerned. We've got difference in wind speed and the direction from the bottom of the atmosphere, right here. Notice very weak southerly wind. We go up to about 5,000 millibars. That's about 10,000 feet up in the atmosphere, and we do have some southwest winds at about 50 knots. That is much weaker shear than what we saw on Friday. but it's still enough that we may spark off some severe thunderstorms. And these first storms, the thing I'm going to be watching with them are they discrete individual supercells? If we get individual supercells, that could be a problem because that could give us a better chance of tornadoes. If it's kind of a line like this, we still have a strong wind threat, but the tornado threat is not as bad. Not saying it's a non-zero, it's just not as bad as what we saw on Friday if that plays out. So if this model is right, we will likely see a very strong to maybe low-end severe thunderstorm on top of London between 3 and 4 o'clock on Tuesday. Now, don't take that as gospel. That is just guidance to get an idea of when to expect this. The models may be a little off on their timing, either before or after. This is just to give you an idea. But round in the morning, a break in the action. Round in the afternoon, a break in the action. And then another line forms and likely moves in tomorrow evening and could bring us more in the way of damaging winds. That is one model's take on it. Let's look at another model. This is the North American mesoscale model. This is the NAM. This one's a little bit more concerning to me because we do have more of a discrete nature, more individual storms, although that is still trying to form a little bit of a line segment. Either way, wind gusts 60 to 70 miles per hour possible in thunderstorms tomorrow. That's the last thing we need with as much debris as we have laying on the ground in most of Laurel County right now. Then we get that main line rolling in about 11 o'clock tomorrow night, according to this model, and maybe even another tertiary line, a third line after that, overnight into Wednesday morning. Not looking overall as bad, but the Storm Prediction Center does have us under a 3 out of 5 and enhanced risk of severe weather. Normally, I would not be as worried about a 3 out of 5. However, given everything that happened Friday, given the fact we've got hundreds of people displaced, given the fact we've got hundreds, if not thousands, of homes damaged, given the fact that a lot of people are hurting and scared right now and don't have good connectivity, I want to go ahead and get the word out there. 3 o'clock to about midnight tomorrow for the worst of the weather. Be weather aware. We also have a problem tomorrow. No weather radios are going to be down for an upgrade. So cell phones are going to be your best way to get warnings. Problem is, there is a large chunk of Laurel County that does not have internet or cellular access right now. We're going to have to be doing a good job, the old-fashioned, yelling across neighborhoods, spreading the word the old-fashioned way when things start rolling in tomorrow. Let's break down the individual threats. Everybody wants to know about the tornado. We are on the borderline between a 5 to 9% chance of tornadoes in Laurel County and a 10 to 14% chance. But notice that yellow area, the 10 to 14% chance, which does go right up until I-75. So you might as well include the city of London in this, even though we're on the edge. It's anywhere within that zone or within 25 miles. That covers London. There is a 10 to 14% chance of significant tornadoes, EF2 to EF5. We've already seen the preliminary reports, EF3, some EF4 damage found. They'll get the final number out. It doesn't matter. 165 mile per hour wind, we saw what it did. We do not need this. We do not want this. We are on the periphery of this, but it's still close enough that we want to pay very close attention. My honest, biggest concern for tomorrow, though, is the hail. The hail is what, or not, excuse me, the hail, the wind. The wind is what has me worried. It's the wind threat. We have a high wind chance, 45 to 59% chance of severe winds of at least 58 miles per hour. Now, we're not into that significant category, which is good. But the problem is, with all that debris that is laying out there right now, if we get 60 mile per hour wind gusts coming through, you have projectiles going everywhere. If you live in the areas that have been damaged by the storms, tomorrow by 3 o'clock, I would be out of there. I know that sounds harsh. I'm calling on the churches in the neighborhoods. I'm calling on City of London government, Borough County government, get some shelters open for people to get them into. If they live in the area that was hit by the tornado, you do not want to be there tomorrow when 60-mile-per-hour winds come through. Folks that are planning on volunteering tomorrow, I know school's out again tomorrow. A lot of businesses are closed. A lot of families are trying to clean up. Between 3 o'clock and midnight tomorrow, you do not want to be where that tornado was, because any piece of debris that is on the ground, if we have strong winds coming in, just turned into a projectile. I don't want to get hit by a 2x4 going 70 miles per hour. That's not going to end well for anybody. Small hail risk tomorrow, 15 to 30% chance. Here is the timing window from the Weather Service office in Louisville, and this is for the highest severe weather threat. I think the more potent part of the line comes in tomorrow night in that 4 to 8 window, possibly the tail end of that. But I'm worried about earlier cells breaking out in front of it. That's when, if that happens, we have a tornado threat. Also, another threat we have to consider. Because of all the rain we've seen lately, flooding is going to be an issue. We have already ran about 10 inches above where we should be for the amount of rain we have this time of year. That is no bueno. Any more rain is going to cause flooding. And I can tell you right now, my yard is absolutely saturated. Once again, here's a closer look at that enhanced risk for tomorrow. You see London and Corbin included in that. Scattered and numerous instances of damaging winds are expected. Isolated instances of large hail, isolated tornadoes are possible. There is an elevated threat of strong tornadoes in the vicinity of Lake Cumberland and further south and west. This is why we're taking the time to talk to you guys. Go ahead and get the word out, because there is a tornado risk in the Cumberland Valley, the absolute last place we need it. Here, once again, the breakdowns from the Weather Service office in Jackson. I'm sharing a lot of their stuff because I don't have access to my stuff right now. We still don't have internet at my house. Not complaining. I know the crews are doing best, and a lot of folks have it worse than me. We're just improvising. Folks at the Weather Service office in Jackson do an awesome job. I'm going to talk more about that in another time, about the timing of their warnings. I know there's been some drama about that online. I'll share my thoughts later. But here's the breakdown. Damaging wind threat, 45 to 59% for London and Corbin and Somerset. Large hail, 15 to 29% for both towns. Tornado threat, 10 to 14%. Hatch. Hatch means significant. Hatch means if we get a tornado, it will likely be EF2 or stronger. We saw what an EF3 to EF4 could do. We don't want to do that again. We do have that a 2 out of 4 risk of excessive rain. I mentioned that flood risk. That is for Tuesday and the Tuesday night. May even linger into Wednesday morning. Watch out for flash flooding. Would not surprise me if the Cumberland and the Kentucky start running high, and a lot of the local creeks and streams on Wednesday. Remember, with an enhanced risk, the 3 out of 5, that's what we were under in London for most of the day on Thursday. That moderate risk, that 4 out of 5, was just to our west. So, enhanced risk, numerous severe storms possible, some longer-lived severe thunderstorms, a few intense storms possible. There wasn't a ton of super intense storms on Friday, but the ones that fired up went nuclear. We got to watch out for that again, although the ingredients are not quite as bad. So that is the good news. The ingredients are not as strong, but there is still enough of a threat, and especially because we're in this vulnerable, weakened state, we need to take some extra precaution. Also, remember, with the flooding threat, turn around, do not drown. 6 inches of fast-moving water can knock over an adult. 18 to 24 inches will pick up most vehicles. Have multiple ways of getting warnings. Remember, the weather radio aspect of that, not going to be in play for tomorrow. Outdoor sirens, a lot of folks were complaining. Here in London, they couldn't hear the siren. And I know Tony Brown's wanting to address that. I'm all for it. Let's do it. Let's get as many ways to get warnings as we can. But We don't have that in play right now. Guys, this yellow one, this is going to be the key tomorrow. Family, friends, and coworkers. Folks, watch the weather tomorrow, especially from 3 o'clock to midnight. I don't care what TV station. I don't care what streamer. I don't care if it's LEX, if it's KYT, if it's YMT. I do have a few preferences. Not going to lie. Some of them have given me a nice paycheck in the past. But I don't care who your preference is. Watch somebody. Ryan Hall, Max Velocity, Kentucky Weather Now. If I can live stream, I'll try to live stream. I don't think I'm going to be able to tomorrow just because of the situation at my house with not having internet. I will try to post warnings as I can, especially on my Twitter, S. Smith Weather. But just know I may not be able to get warnings out quickly, and I may not be able to live stream. Have multiple ways. It takes a village in this situation, and everybody's going to have to play their part tomorrow. For folks in county and local government, city government, I know you guys are coordinating with the Weather Service. I know you're coordinating with emergency management. Please, 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 if you hear these words, play it on the cautious side tomorrow. Get shelters open. Get people to them early. Don't wait until the last minute. Do not wait until the last minute, because if we have 70-mile-per-hour winds come through here with the kind of debris we have on the ground, it's going to be bad. It's going to cause problems. Also, for folks out at the airport, I know that big command center is out there. There's going to have to be some thoughts about how to handle that tomorrow, because you're going to be right in ground zero if that wind kicks up. We may need to think about moving that for the decision makers in Laurel County and London. I know you guys are considering it. I know you got a lot on your plate right now. Mother Nature is not causing us a break. At least think about it if y'all hear this. Somebody that knows the decision makers, let them know. Local meteorologist said, hey, this could be an issue tomorrow. And I'm sure they're talking to some people who are much smarter than I am about this weather. But you need to take care of yourself tomorrow, folks. I can't stress that enough. And if you don't have a way to do it, build a network and get there. Get away. For folks that are still in a good house, open your doors. Churches, open your doors. Community centers, open your doors. Find somewhere safe to be between 3 o'clock and midnight tomorrow. Any questions? Joey Lee Moss asking when's it going to hit. Joey, this is one model's opinion, so take it as that. We will likely see a few strong storms tomorrow morning. That will not be the worst of it. We may see a few thunderstorms and supercells possibly develop early tomorrow afternoon, around 3 or 4 o'clock in London. That is item 1 to be concerned about. Item 2 is if we get a squall line in here tomorrow night around 9, 10 o'clock. So I think there's at least 3 chances of thunderstorms tomorrow. One in the morning. That one's not going to be as bad, but still have some strong wind. The worst stuff will likely be between 3 o'clock on that first afternoon round, and then around 8 o'clock on for the second round with a squall line. So 3 possible rounds of thunderstorms tomorrow. Rounds 2 and 3 will likely be the worst. Joey, did that answer your question? Now we're probably running a little bit of lag between what I am seeing in the chat and what you guys are seeing. So that Chris Tittle asking, do you think there is a large risk of tornadoes? Kentucky can't handle those. 10 to 14% in the yellow, 5 to 9% in the brown. So most of the state under a 5 to 9% chance tomorrow. So for all my D&D players out there, rolling that one, got a tornado in the brown. If you roll 1 to 3, you got a tornado in the yellow. Guys, I know a lot of folks are going to probably see this after the fact. If you have questions after this video is done, please send them, post them in the comments. I will try to answer as many as I can. Just know, internet has been really sketchy at my house since the storm. I've been trying to get out and get internet at different points. But I will do my best to answer when I can. But I'm trying to put everything out here right now in case I can't get the word out anymore. So to recap, 3 rounds of thunderstorms possible tomorrow. 1 tomorrow morning. That one should not be as bad, but could still have some strong thunderstorms, maybe borderline severe. Second risk starts around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Definitely by 3 o'clock, I'd start being really weather aware tomorrow. That's when that higher risk kicks in. We got those storms. If they're supercells, we got problems. If it's a squall line, it's still bad, but it's not as bad. And then finally, the big final push of wind should come in with a squall line tomorrow evening. I'm going to say after 8, 9 o'clock. We will adjust the timing on that tomorrow. That's best guess right now based on the models we have, the data. Tune in to your local favorite meteorologist, National Weather Service office in Jackson. Check them out. Remember, weather radios are no-go tomorrow. Weather radios will be down for maintenance. So, and I know a lot of folks are struggling with internet right now. Have multiple ways. Folks outside the damage area that can communicate with folks inside the damage area, let them know. Do not be in the damage area tomorrow afternoon or evening, because all that debris can turn into projectiles with that kind of wind. All right. God bless y'all. I love you guys. I hope you all are doing okay. We're going to get through this. We're going to do it. We'll get through it. Just hang in there. Stay weather aware. Take care. And stay weather aware tomorrow, my friends. I'll see y'all next time. I can stop.